Hey everyone, surprise, we're live. So we just decided I was going to do an interview with Debra, and I said, well, why don't we just go live instead? So here we are, we're live. I want to introduce you to my friend Debra Eckerling. You know what? And I have your book. It's right. I'll be right back. Debra, tell everybody who you are.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Debra Eckerling. I'm author of Your Goal Guide, which Viv just ran to get, and creator of the Deb Method, which is my system for goal setting simplified. I believe you can't get what you want unless you know what that is. So finding that foundation for your goals, that's really key to everything. And DEB stands for determine your mission, explore your options, brainstorm your path. When you've got first that foundation, and then you explore what that looks like for your life, you can brainstorm your path, make a plan, turn the life you want into reality, and everything is magic. So there you go.
And my book is upstairs. So
Oh wait,
because I'm actually using it. Oh, there it is. There you go. Because I'm actually using it, folks. So it's upstairs in my like little journaling cubby, which everybody should be doing journaling too. Okay. So I've had you on before and we've talked about personal goals, but you and I were talking a couple weeks ago, and you're doing this new thing with goal setting for events. And I was like, that's really cool. Let's talk a little bit more about that. So, with that in mind, the title of this live is Event Outcome Optimization. And so, if you are an event planner yourself or involved in booking speakers or a speaker or just involved in events in any way, shape, or form, like listen to us for the next half hour or so, but also make sure that you share this with your other event planner friends, because this is something new. I mean, I don't know why, but this is not something that I've ever heard about before, which is, creating goals not only for your event, but within the audience too. So I'm going to totally butcher it. So Debra, tell us, how did you come up with this idea, and what does it really look like for the event planner, but also for the audience?
Right. Well, I'm so glad you asked. And this is the thing. We've been through so many changes over the last couple of years. And one of my goals back in 2020, like right before my book came out, was okay, corporate world, here I come. Because I believe that, you can't, I said it before, you can't get what you want unless you know what that is. Right. And that is not just for the businesses, but it's for the people working within them. And over the last 2 years, obviously, the plan for 2020.
Yeah.
I don't have to explain what happened to that one, but so I basically spent 2 years telling people this cosmic pause is a good thing, is the perfect opportunity to reassess your life, figure out what you want, and maybe it's to start a side hustle. Maybe it's to quit your job altogether and go all in on something. Or maybe it's just to pick a part of your life that you want to do better and what that looks like for you. So that starts out with your personal mission and your motto. And mine is to help as many people as possible figure out what they want and how to get it. Hence the motto of Goal Setting Simplified. So we can fast forward to now-ish. Now that we're back live and in person again, there are different, it's like the event world, it exploded even more. I mean, we've all gotten accustomed to the virtual events, which have been a blessing. Let's speak in understatements. But now there's like everything. There's a hybrid, there's in person, there's virtual summits, all the stuff that we got used to during COVID is still going on. And now we have live events again, which is great. But so many people come back from events and said, gee, that was fun. I got 2 leads. Or I had a great time. What did you learn? And I'm like, wait a second. The Deb Method methodology works perfectly for events. And in the terms of, so I do like pre-conference work or day one. Okay, let's get your people revved up and excited, but also to make a plan for the conference. But also I work with businesses that are sending individuals and teams to conferences to get the most out of it. And
I think I'm going to interrupt you for just a second, because like, how many people listening right now have gotten that 3-day high, right? Exactly what Debra said. You go to the conference, you're like seeing your friends and you're learning all kinds of new stuff. And you might even be taking tons of notes, and you're on this high, and you're going out to dinner every night, and you're exhausted by the time you get the hotel room. So you don't review anything. And then you go do it again. And then you go do it again. And then you come home, and then you sleep for like 48 hours. And then 3-4 days after that, you're like, yeah, it was a great event, but yeah, what did I learn? I remember seeing John there. What else happened? And I'm not saying drinking is involved, but it can be. And so I love the idea, especially of companies who are investing in their employees and sending, because it ain't airfare right now. Holy crap, right? So companies that are investing in their employees, airfare, hotels, not to mention conference prices themselves, per diems, whatever, that is a huge chunk of change. And I have never heard of anybody, get a thumbs up on that. I have never heard of anybody, any company, anywhere that actually prepares its employees for the conference, to send them, never mind working at a conference. That's something else entirely. Maybe we can talk about that too. But I have never heard of a company who's sending their employees on a conference about preparing them for that conference. So tell us, Debra, a little bit about what that looks like.
Well, and isn't it mind-blowing that no one is doing? I mean, I'm glad it's me. I'm glad it's me, right?
Hey, Deb.
But it comes
Deb Mitchell, the other Deb. I'm sorry. You're like, why are you waving at me?
Hey, no, I saw. I'm waving at Deb Mitchell.
Oh, okay.
And Deb Mitchell knows this too. So
yeah, she does.
The last social media marketing world that I worked back in 2018, I was brought on to create the Content Concierge program. And Christine Ketman and Phil Mershon came to me and said, we have this idea. Will you create this? And okay, project, definitely count me in. And what I did is I figured out a way for people. We went through, we divided, we conquered, we figured out the material, what is good for what type of person attending. I trained my team of volunteers, and for the conference, we helped anybody who was lost come, okay, what session? Well, are you a beginner, intermediate, advanced? What do you want to learn? So that's a little bit of a spark of what I do, but I integrate it because it's not just learning. It's not just picking the things. It's picking what you need to learn from the things, or who you need to meet. And this is the other thing that I've discovered in my research. There's so much networking for introverts, books out there, courses, whatever. What about networking for extroverts?
Yeah, right.
People who want to go do everything, meet everyone. And then we're like, we need 96 hours of recovery because that's all we've done for 4 days. So it's really...
I'm going to interrupt for just a second, because you're 100% right. And let's face it, most conferences are not single track. So like, I'm thinking about, I spoke at Inbound a couple years ago, and like, there's 10 million people, 600 speakers, and 7,000 sessions. I'm only slightly exaggerating. And I know I met with a lot of individuals who are coming from companies to learn, and teams. But again, you're given this book. Well, okay, it's all online now. You're given these pages and pages and pages and pages of keynotes and breakouts, and and then there's all the different types of events. Can you talk a little bit more about how do we get our minds around that? Again, if I've got a sales team say that I'm sending, hey Ted, if I've got a sales team say that I'm sending to an event, or my CS team, or whatever team I'm sending to my event, what do I do with them to make sure that they're making the most of their time there?
Well, it starts with the D and the DEB method. Determine your mission. Why are you going to this conference? Are you going to meet people, to develop relationships, to create partnerships, to meet prospects and check in with clients? Are you going to learn things because, and mostly I work with sales and marketing teams in tech, I will work with everybody because everybody needs this, but especially the world that you and I live in, Viv.
Yeah.
People in technology are progressive. We want what's next. We are excited. So what is it that you think you are going to learn or you want to learn at this conference? What are those goals for yourself, and how is it going to better yourself, your business, your company, whether it's your business or you're part of growing someone else's business?
Yeah.
What is the mission? And if you've got a bunch of people going, great.
Yeah.
Match them up, divide and conquer.
Yeah.
If it's just one or two people, even though there's a lot of content, when you try and do everything, you learn nothing.
Nothing. I'm so glad you said that. And actually, this would apply for companies that are going is like bringing all their vendors with them too, because you'll see that, all their employees as vendors too. But I remember seeing, again, it was either Inbound or Social Media Marketing World, but this one company, it was really cool. They sent a bunch of their employees, and I think there were 12 of them in my one session. And so part of me was like, that's so cool. They're all here listening to me. But the other part was like, wow, there's 12 of them. Am I that good? Like maybe they should be going to some Instagram sessions and maybe, a few Facebook sessions too. So I love what you said then. If your team's big enough to divide and conquer, for sure. But if there's just a few, maybe go in partnership so that you can support each other in your learning, and don't try to do everything.
Exactly. There will be other conferences.
I thought so too back in 2020 of March. No,
okay, but let's talk about virtual conferences too.
Yeah.
Even if you are only spending money only on virtual, so you don't have the food and you don't have the hotel,
right? Or the air travel,
but you're still spending time where you can be working.
Right.
You are working, right?
That's exactly. But you've got to take in that is time that your employees aren't doing what they're employed to do.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So even if the physical prices, I feel that's not the right word. Even if the cost is the ticket, the cost is also time. The cost is also attention. Yeah. So because there will be other conferences and online, and I just realized we're doing this on Social Media Day.
I know. Oh, we are, aren't we?
So this is perfect for now because there are events going virtually and live in a lot of different places. Great. Wonderful. Pick one thing that you want to learn today. Yeah. And then at the end of the day, make some bullet points, make some notes, decide what kind of action you're going to take, and then take that action. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is so important. Like, don't try to do everything. And, the great thing about the virtual conferences and actually live conferences that have both live streaming and that they're recording it, is you can go and look at those other sessions later if you need to. Like maybe instead of doing all the sessions live, right? You do 1 or 2 sessions or 3 sessions, do the stuff that you, especially for live events, do the stuff that you can't do later, like watch the person speak. Not that I don't want you coming to my room, people. Come to my room. Be in my audience. But for everybody else, no. But I think that's a really, really good point. You can really be focusing on just the few things that you want to learn today. You can always listen to the recordings later if they're offered. And then I'm going to ask you about that too, because how many people have gone to a conference, gotten all the recordings, and have ever watched them ever? Let me know in chat.
Right? But it's the same thing. Let's say you have TikTok goals, right?
Yeah. I suck at TikTok.
Go to the TikTok sessions. Yeah. Or let's say you have a show and you want to interview the TikTok forerunners, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to go to the sessions of the people that you want to be developing relationships with, want to, need to, have to, whatever, because, and then ask a question so you're noticed, or talk and chat or whatever, but do the things that you can only do live.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, that's, your goal. Thank you for saying that. Your goal is not just learn from the person on stage. It's maybe meet the person on stage, develop a relationship, or other people in the audience, right? It's not just about getting the information. It's about those real relationships, which again is why I prefer live events, but I take anything.
And again, go through it, like go through that schedule.
Yeah.
And maybe here's a novel idea. And when I speak pre-conference day one, the first thing I say is, okay, conference organizers, don't be mad. Don't go to everything.
Yeah.
That is the first thing I say. Don't go to everything. It's not sustainable.
No. I mean, especially if you're an introvert, it's not sustainable, but extrovert, even
as and it's really funny because, excuse me, the last time you were on my show, you called yourself an introvert. And I was like, I've known you for how many years? And I've never heard you use that word before describing yourself.
Yeah, no, I am. But I mean, a lot of speakers are. We're comfortable on stage talking to people. But, oh, you want us at a networking event talking with people?
Great. Go tag team. That's a wonderful tip for especially if you're not really happy going to these networking events, because they're necessary. Yeah. That is a perfect opportunity to tag team with a friend or teammate from your company. Introduce each other or work the room, and then figure out who needs to meet who, and then make sure the people that you meet who, I'm trying to say this in a way that makes sense. If you divide and conquer, you can meet the room and then introduce the people that you meet to your partner, or work the room together and highlight each other's strengths. So there's so many different workarounds for that. But when you go to these events, think about who do you want to meet, who do you need to meet, and who would it be nice to meet.
Yeah. And actually have those people listed. Do the pre-work. And as a company, do the pre-work together. Yes.
And maybe you don't even know the person that you're going to meet, but you know the type. Well, I need to meet podcasters because I need people to interview me so I can get my message across. So great. Your goal for this networking event is to meet podcasters so they can interview you, so they can highlight your expertise. Yeah. And it's fulfilling the goal. The goal is not, well, the goal at a conference is to elevate your business. Yeah. Yeah, so exactly. Look to what does it mean for you? And it is everything. It is meeting people and it is learning things. But again, when you try to do everything, you do nothing. When you try to learn everything, you've got this pile. And let me add one more thing. For those of you who have piles of recordings from conferences that you're stacking, you are never going to listen to them again.
It's like my shoe closet. It's just, there's too many, and I'm never gonna wear the heels again. Like, just delete them.
Yes, delete them. Get rid of the clutter. Start from now. And as you are attending conferences, live, virtual, in person, whatever we're calling them, make a goal. What are you going to learn? Who are you going to meet?
And Marie Kondo that session. Will this session bring me joy?
Will this session bring you closer to your ultimate goals? You can Marie Kondo, or you could Debra Eckerling them.
Yeah. Okay.
I prefer the
Debra Eckerling. Deb method it.
Yeah. Deb that conference.
Deb that conference. I love it. Okay. So we have meet with your team ahead of time, go through the agenda, choose the sessions that you're going to go to and commit to those sessions. Choose the people that you want to meet and make a plan for meeting them. Anything else that they need to do before they go to the conference?
Yes. they need to read your book and make sure their LinkedIn is up to snuff, because the first thing people are going to do, because you do this, you Google people, you look them up on LinkedIn, they are going to do that to you. So before you go anywhere, make sure your LinkedIn is a reflection of who you are now.
Yes.
And also, very important, in what ways do you help?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Who do you help? How do you help them? And make sure your brand is up to snuff. 100%. You can find my book on my profile. Just go there. All right. So their LinkedIn looks good because, of course, also they're going to want to invite people to connect. Like literally while you are standing in a room talking to your next prospect, you are going to want to pull out your phone and connect with them on LinkedIn or Facebook or Twitter or TikTok, wherever you do most of your work. But I recommend LinkedIn, clearly.
I need to this is the perfect opportunity to talk about Fly Message.
Oh, good. Yes. Yes.
Because another thing that you can do before you go to a conference is you can prepare little templates for connection requests. And you can have one that's like, great meeting you at this session. Let's connect. Or I'm so glad we met in line at the coffee. Or
yes,
wasn't that a fabulous session on X? What was your favorite part? I love this. So you can create like 4 or 5 or 6 different templates, or just do 3. 3 is a good number. As I'm mentioning, I'm like, oh, you can go so many different directions. But you can create a shortcut using Fly Message, where all you have to do is write the little code and then fill in the session that you met at.
I love that. Yeah. And I'll pop the link. She's talking about our auto text expansion tool, which you can get for free right now. I'm going to pop that into the messages. But it's just flymsg.io. It's a Chrome extension. Actually, it's an everything extension now. But yeah, I know. I love that idea. So I mean, that's what keeps us from following up with people, is we don't do it in the minute and then it never happens. But if we've got all of those messages already crafted, it's really easy to pop in your short code. You're good. They're invited. Next.
And you only have to do this once, because for every conference, you just change the name of the conference.
Exactly. 100%. I've got a follow-up message that I do, and I've now finally made it agnostic, and I don't mention the conference for that very reason. I have a follow-up message I send to everyone who invites me to connect from the audience, and boom, we're good to go.
Yes. So to start out, you want to make sure your virtual you is perfect everywhere.
Yes.
You're prepared to connect, and you've got that list of people you want to meet, need, would like to, and sessions that you want, need, and would like to attend. What is the goal of this conference? And then all the decisions you make regarding the conference reflect back to the goal. I talk about this a lot with, determine your mission, who you are for your business. Is this in alignment with your goal of the conference? And maybe you get invited to an after party and you're like, that wasn't in my goal list. Well, will it benefit me in another way? Well, yes, I might meet more of my people. Okay. Or no, I've got this 7 a.m. thing I have to do tomorrow. But I'm going to thank the person who invited me and make sure to get invited to the next one.
Yeah. So you got to keep those goals, and really you've got to put it might be fun to go to that after party, but it might not be what's best for you. All right. So you've set, you come in and you work with the company that's sending employees, either as participants or as vendors. They've got their goals. They're ready to go. They go to the conference. They go to their sessions. They're meeting the people they need to meet. They're connecting on LinkedIn. They look good on LinkedIn. Now what? What else? What else do they need to know?
Well, I think at the end of it, depending on the length of the conference, even if it's a 15-minute appointment with yourself to go through your day and pick out the people that are the top tier that you're going to need to connect with, but also the action items, the things that you're going to do, because especially, let's say you're an employee or teammate, whatever we're calling, those cogs, you are going to look like the best employee of the year. right? If you come back and you start putting things into action like the day after or the week after, because even the little bits, it's gonna shine because no one else is doing this.
Yeah.
So at the end of each day, make that list of these are the 3 things I learned and I'm going to put into action. Then actually put them into action.
Then actually do it. I know, exactly. It's that Ebbinghaus curve, right? If you put it into action with, certainly within an hour of listening to someone, but at least by the end of the day, you're going to retain a lot more than if you wait several days, until if you wait to the end of the conference, you're not going to retain a whole lot. If you wait a week after the conference, you're not going to retain anything. So, or like 20%. So yeah, with that Ebbinghaus forgetting curve, you definitely want as soon as possible to review. And then I love that idea. Make a commitment to yourself and then actually do what you say you're going to do.
And the best way to do the things is to set appointments to do the things. Because if it's not in my calendar, it doesn't get done. You should see, you shouldn't see my calendar.
No, you've seen mine. I've seen, no. I'd have go to the bathroom in there if I could time it. I mean, I put everything in there.
So at a conference, make sure you've got an appointment at the end of each day, and you can just even type it into that calendar appointment, your top takeaways. And then the day after or a couple days after, do an appointment, 1 or 2 hours to really, really look at everything and get a bigger picture plan of what you're going to do. And then set an ongoing meeting for your networking, and also set an ongoing meeting for taking that knowledge and putting them into action.
Well, and literally set meetings with the people you meet, because they might not even remember who you are a month from now. But those people that you met at the conference, set the appointments while you're at the conference if you can. Most people have calendar tools now. So even if they're like, oh, I'm too busy right now, like, no problem. I'll send you an email. It's got my calendar in it. Just when you got a few minutes, let's connect again. Because otherwise it is not going to happen.
No. And again, you've got your top tier, right? So you've got like the top 5 people that you really connected with or would be the perfect client for you.
Yeah.
And then you've got the bunch of business cards of people who were very nice. So they can, you can connect with them on LinkedIn. It's not going to hurt anybody. And then the people in between, somewhere between, oh, they need to be in my life and they seem nice. Are the people that this is why you connect on LinkedIn. You don't know where relationship's going to take you, so you need to be open.
That's right. That's exactly right. I love it. Okay. Now, so we've done that. It's after the conference. What happens?
Well, you get a raise because you brought in so much business to your company. It's rinse, repeat. Do the things. And again, let's say for social media day, your big goal is to learn TikTok. There's going to be I guarantee, whether it's a conference or even an online summit or someone's doing a live video, there's going to be someone teaching next week the thing that I'm going to say forgot to learn, the thing that you did not prioritize, but you want to learn next. There's information everywhere. We are not short of it. So don't be afraid to have tunnel vision with what you want to learn. And the next time you can either elevate what you learned the first time, or you can go down a different path. But all the information is there, but it's not going to do you or your business any good if you overflow, your head explodes, and you're starting from scratch.
Right.
No one wants that.
And if you're an employee, then the more successful you are in your conferencing, the more likely your boss is going to be to send you to the next one, because there's actually ROI. I mean, so many people see conferences as like basically a paid vacation, chance to party and use the company corporate card. That's not why your leadership is sending you there. So if you want to keep going to conferences, then you need to establish these goals And then you need to accomplish these goals. And then you need to show that you accomplished these goals and that there was real ROI in sending you. And of course, that is also true for solopreneurs who are sending themselves to conferences. Yes, it's great. I mean, I love seeing my friends at conferences. It's awesome. I can't wait to go to Content Marketing World and see a bunch of my friends again. But I'm not there only to see my friends. And I'm not even there only to speak. I'm there to help my business. And so I will be putting in these actions as well when I go to Content Marketing World in September. We're wrapping up on the half hour, if you can believe it. What more do you want to share with folks?
I want to share, very simple. Your life is in your hands. Your goals are in your hands.
Yeah.
And something you just said, I wanted to call back to, if it's your business, whether you're an employee, sure. But when it's your business, you need to treat the goals you set with an even a higher respect than when you're working for other people, because it's so easy to put yourself behind, put your wants and needs at the end of your list.
Exactly.
No. Yes, you need to do your client work. Yes, you need to keep the lights on. Yes, you need to eat and you need to spend time with your family. But especially when you are building a business, you need to prioritize building your business. You cannot reach your goals on your own. Where do you meet people? Where do you get more education? Conferences. It's like the cure-all to elevating, but you have to do the work and then you have to work it. And it is so possible. You just have to choose it and prioritize.
I love that. All right. So if you're not listening to us live, I hope you're listening to the recording. I hope you're going to share this with your leadership, with your fellow employees. And for those of you who throw conferences, think how much value it would be to bring Deb in to maybe do a pre-show webinar or something with your attendees so they get the most out of your conference. So they want to keep coming back and back and back and back again, because there is ROI there. There is a return on their investment in your conference. So whether you're an attendee or a promoter, I hope you enjoyed this live. I hope you share it. I hope you bookmark it. And I hope you keep coming back. Deb's going to jump in on both the LinkedIn and the Facebook streams, and she'll be able to answer any questions. I'm going to pop some resources in there. She'll pop some resources in there. And we'll be seeing you soon on the socials.
Thank you so much for having me, Viv. And if you're watching, send a LinkedIn message with a connection request. I love making new friends. Can't meet your goals on your own. And you can follow, I'm at The Deb Method everywhere. Email info@thedebmethod.com or go to thedebmethod.com/goals and learn more about how I can help you elevate yourself, your life, your event, your business through setting goals for conferences and event outcome optimization.
Awesome. Thank you so much. See you soon, everybody. everyone.